Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are you? I'm reading again today. I'll actually do a number of readings and upload them separately. But first of all, I want to look at Putin and Trump now. What's their relationship now? And I also want to look at why Trump is trying so hard to get impeached. And Nancy Pelosi is of course resisting that because that's the big topic at the moment. And I also want to look. I want to also look at fake book, which is Facebook. We had Facebook fake news playing a real role in the Australian elections. So, if we're vulnerable now, what are you guys going to be like in 2020? So let's have a look first at our first reading: Putin and Trump now. Putin and Trump now. So let me just give these cards a good shuffle. I've been busy, really busy the last couple of days with various matters. And I've got some time this morning to read, so let's use that time well. Okay. Thank you all again for your support, your comments, and the support of this channel. Okay, Putin and Trump now. Putin and Trump now. What do we need to know about Putin and Trump now? What's their relationship? Putin and Trump now. What's their relationship? What's their relationship? What is Trump and Putin's relationship now? All right, let's have a look. This side will be Trump, this side will be Putin. Okay, so we've got the sun. So the sun is illumination. It's also a win here. So I feel that Trump, for whatever reason, Putin may still be helping Trump because we've got the sun here. We've also got illumination in terms of his relationship could be becoming illuminated. And we've got the Ace of Swords here in this really Putin's column here. The Ace of Swords, it can also mean, apart from new projects, new plans, new agendas, driving those new plans forward, it can also mean conflict, driving those new conflicts forward. So I feel that this is really describes Putin to a T with the Ace of Swords. It's almost like he's brandishing that sword there. And really for Trump is really a little bit, he always strikes me in this relationship as a little bit naive, but Putin's certainly keeping Trump happy at this point in time. Let's have a look at the past, the Two of Cups. Okay, this is the relationship between the two. I'll just push this back a little bit. In the past, this was them coming together, joining up, collaborating. Definitely this relationship has been there in the past, according to these cards. What is the present at this point in time? Strength and endurance. All right, this is suggesting Putin's not out of the frame. It's also suggesting, I did this reading yesterday because I was quite intrigued as to what was going on between the two of them now. And I got similar sort of cards, but the strength and endurance card came up as well yesterday in the present position. Or actually in the future position. And this is suggesting that their relationship is being met with strength and endurance. I feel this is the strength of the processes that are currently unfolding in America at the moment. So we've got potentially this agenda of Putin's, driving this new plan forward. We've got Trump again here. I feel I'm getting drawn to the baby on the horse here, but it's also an illumination as well, an illumination of the relationship, and we've got the strength of the democracy at work illuminating this relationship and potentially this conflict, because the relationship can only be couched in conflict. If you look at the destabilization of not just America but the world structures as a result of the Trump election, we've got it being met with strength. So quite positive positive cards here at this point in time. Now the future card, okay, we've got the Lovers here, so suggesting that in the future, you know, this relationship isn't going to go away. But we're not at the end of the reading yet. Okay, so on Trump's side, we've got the Five of Swords here. This illumination, we've got the Five of Swords, which of course is the abuse of power that we see so much with Trump now. And I feel also this illumination aspect of the Sun card is illuminating that abuse of power. Let's have a look at what's there for Putin. Okay, the Princess of Swords here, suggesting that this truth is slowly unfolding, coming out about this plan on Putin's part. We've got the this is our page of swords in our other deck. This is the card that so often comes forward, as we know. It's suggesting the truth around this relationship is slowly but surely being prized open. And it's also mirroring in context the Lovers card, suggesting that the Page of Swords, the truth being prized open, is actually around the relationship with Trump and Putin, and this will continue in the future. And we also have the abuse of power. So if you look at these three cards, we've got the abuse of power, we've got the relationship between Trump and Russia, and we've got the truth slowly coming out. Now, what is in the sky for Trump here is the Hanged Man. As a result of this unfolding of the truth, we've got him almost being rendered you know, he can't bring any legislation forward. If we didn't have Trump-Russia, you know, would the midterms have been a resounding success here? If Trump had been a president that really worked behind the scenes and kept his mouth closed, would he have been able to, you know, work behind the scenes? As a result of Russiagate, we've got his presidency actually being stalled here. This is a stalemate. This is something that's not moving forward. And what we have with Putin here in the sky, we've got isolation. We've got the Hermit coming forward, suggesting that for Putin's actions, there's going to be an isolation. So this relationship between the two, according to my cards, is being expressed very strongly in this reading. Let's have a look at some clarity on the Princess of Swords. Just excuse me, I'll get my other deck. I should have had that ready. Okay, just hold on. Okay. So, the Princess of Swords. I'm using my Druid Craft deck here. I don't use it often because the cards are rather large. They're lovely to see on the screen, but they're a bit cumbersome to handle. Let's get some clarity on the Page of Swords, or the Princess of Swords here. The truth being slowly prized open about the Russia-Trump relationship. Let's have a look at what we've got there. Can we have some clarity, please, on the Page or Princess of Swords? Clarity on the Princess of Swords. Okay, so we've got the juggling and the manipulation. Okay, so we've got the manipulation there, and we've got defending oneself. This is the Seven of Wands here, suggesting that what's going to occur with this in the near future in relationship to Trump's relationship with Putin, the Russiagate, the truth is going to slowly keep emerging, but there is also going to be manipulation here by the Republicans and by Trump to try and keep that truth from emerging. But by the same token, he's going to have to defend himself. What's in the sky here is a victory of some description. Who is that victory for? Trump is in the self-defense position. We've got the Page of Swords in the offense. So I'm feeling that victory could be for the truth. Now, what is hidden from our view, and this really validates it, is the Death card here, which, as we know, is the ending card. Something is going to end. Is this the relationship between Putin and Trump? That was the question. Is this Trump's presidency? The Death card. suggesting an ending. Let's have a look at that. Okay, some clarification. Is this the end of Putin and Trump's relationship? It's quite a strong card, that one. There are snakes and goodness knows what in it. There are messages going up through the sky. There are crows in the air, suggesting that this ending is not going to be very pleasant. So let's have some clarity on the death card. Is this the ending of the Trump presidency? Is this the ending of the Trump presidency? Okay, let's have a look here. And we've got the King of Swords, we've got the Mueller report here and the investigators. So I feel that this investigations in relation to Trump-Russia is not going to finish, it's not going to end. I'm being drawn also to the sealed indictments that Judge Beryl Howe had when Mueller handed off those investigations. I feel that there's more to be told on the Trump-Russia relationship. We also have Roger Stone's trial coming up as well on WikiLeaks. So I feel that this is very much Trump at the moment, really trying to manipulate things and self-defense against the truth coming forward. I would actually like to ask. Is Putin going to turn on Trump at any stage? Let's have a look at that. So definitely the Lovers card there, definitely the collaboration, the partnerships. This is according to my tarot cards. This isn't a news channel, this is a tarot card channel. These are my impressions. So let's have a look at whether or not, what's Putin thinking at this point in time. What's Putin? I feel he's wanting to move on. What is Putin thinking? He may be trying to move on, but I think while ever Trump's presidency is still in train, you're going to get this continual manipulation, as we've seen Kim Jong-un quite, I think Biden came out, Kim Jong-un criticising Biden on Memorial Day, Biden coming out saying Trump quoting the dictator on Memorial Day is just wrong and beneath the office of the presidency. And really it's a little bit dumb, I feel. You know, I think Biden is actually quite well liked across both sides of the aisle. In terms as, you know, any politician can be, has been around for a while and carries a bit of baggage. I feel that generally you wouldn't get great opposition to Joe Biden in those red states. You know, he's a veteran himself. He's a former vice president when the office carried some meaning. So I feel that Trump's insults are not landing there. He's just exposing himself. So let's have a look at. Okay, let's see if Putin's ever going to turn on Trump. Will Putin turn on Trump at any point in the future? Will Putin turn on Trump? I think it's going to get quite rough for Putin there when all this is finally outed. You know, there's going to be retributions. I feel this could be the point at which Putin may turn on Trump. Let's have a look. Will Putin turn on Trump? Okay, let's have a look here. Will Putin turn on Trump? We've certainly got celebrations here. I'll just pull a Celtic cross. Celebrations as the signifier card. Of course they're celebrating. Of course Putin would be celebrating. Challenged. His challenge though is by victory, which is interesting. He got what he wanted, but it's actually in the challenge position, suggesting it's one of those. I don't know what the word for it is. You know, when the celebration itself is going to be challenged by the celebration, by the victory, suggesting you won't be celebrating in the future. Let's pull the laptop down. The focus of the reading is the money news. Okay, so I feel things are going to start to turn when this starts to emerge. Now, we asked if Putin was going to turn on Trump. This is the foundational card, the foundation of the reading, the money news. And I'm going to Deutsche Bank here as well, and money laundering, those issues around alleged money laundering here. Okay, well, he stopped the supply of income, the supply of, something. There's something around money here. The question was, will he turn? The Page of Swords in the past is, of course, the Knight of Swords in the past is suggesting again this truth, action on truth coming forward. And the Four of Pentacles, it is around money because we've got insecurity here. I feel that he is worried about further sanctions if Trump were to lose office or step down. The High Priestess, he's worried about the American government in the future and what they may do in relation to sanctioning him or any kind of action that might. He's worried about the money here. Now, at this point in time, he's still rather hopeful. He's rather hopeful that his plan will continue to succeed. And the Two of Cups in the environment around, why is he hopeful? Because Trump is still the president. Here, the relationship is still current. King of Wands, what he fears here are the legislators and the courts. So he's fearing actually the Congress and the American government. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here. Will he turn? I feel this is around money. So if the Trump organisation's business in any way is financed by Russia, it's suggesting that supply would be cut off. That's the way I'm reading these cards. This is commerce and expansion. And we've got the Emperor card, which is Putin, again suggesting that these sources may be cut off. So what we've got hidden from our view is the Chariot, things coming forward quite quickly. So what this is pointing to, according to my impressions anyway, Russian money coming into America. I think Putin fears that if there were a change of government, if there were reparations needed for Russia's part in all of this, that it would go to the supply of the incoming of the money coming into America. If there is alleged money laundering on the part of Trump, because I'm just getting the Ace of Pentacles, which is an income source here. It's suggesting that this is what would be taken away. But it's also, he's fearing this in some way, the exposure of the money coming in and how it's used. So these are my impressions according to my tarot card. He's not going to turn on Trump just yet. Trump is still in office. And of course, he's still hopeful that there will be a win here for Trump. However, what is always short-sighted, I guess, against these kind of potentially criminal activities, we know that he interfered in the American election, is that the victory itself leads to the actual outcome, the downfall. So his celebrations are going to be cut short because he actually succeeded, and now there are investigations and a price to be paid for that. So it's all around the money. It's all around the money, Russian money coming in many ways, not just to allegedly to the Trump organisation. We understand Deutsche Bank has flagged in the past Trump and Kushner for potential money laundering. It's not just that, it's other ways that Russian money comes into America as well. We've got Mitch McConnell and the aluminium plant down in his electorate in Kentucky, multiple ways that Russian money comes into America and virtually profits from the American economy in ways that are hidden. There's nothing wrong with regulated foreign investment, but when you've got money laundering, etc., and money in politics in order to get certain decisions and influence agendas, foreign policy agendas, then you've got a very dirty, murky pond, and one that inevitably will need to be cleaned up. So that's the reading on Trump and Putin now. I just thought I'd pull that because I was actually just doing the reading for myself, and I thought, ooh, this another reading is needed. So what is eventually, in summary, going to end this relationship? What is eventually going to have this because the spotlight is shining so clearly on what has gone on? You're actually going to have things cleaned up. At the end of the day, there will be almost a mandate to clean things up. And what is sitting always at the bottom of all of this is Robert Mueller's report, Robert Mueller's investigation. I feel that there are questions here around him being stymied, him being cordoned off. His lines of investigation. I feel that in the future that story will emerge. But nevertheless, we have Mueller's report. There are actually stories coming forward around the indictments that apparently, according to media reports, Mueller had 3 indictments there for Trump on his desk, which he chose not to proceed with, and instead put that over to Congress. So I'm going to close this reading down and restart another reading on the impeachment of Trump, why he's trying so hard there, and also perhaps we'll include why Mueller, if he did, he's denying it. His office is saying that's not true. So we'll put that out there. Again, this isn't a news channel, this is a tarot channel. And we're just digging around with divination to gain some insights. Some of those insights will be on track and others won't. So that being said, let's close this reading down and move to another reading.